Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Please stand and join Libertyville High School's choir director, Dr. Jeff Brown, in singing America the Beautiful.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Please be seated.
Good evening, honored guests and fellow graduates. I am Leia Nabdo.
And I am Sadie Iyer, and we are your co-presidents for the class of 2019.
It is our privilege to welcome you to the Libertyville High School Class of 2019 commencement ceremony. Tonight, we proudly celebrate our achievements and fondly reflect on our experiences as Wildcats. We are fortunate to be a part of such a supportive community that rallies behind our athletics and fine arts, from Friday night football games, sports championships, and to the many amazing productions put on by our Wildcats. LHS provides a place for everyone through various activities that gave us all the opportunity to get involved, connect, and grow as individuals. We are so lucky to have all these special memories that make saying goodbye extra hard. As we move on to the next chapter of our lives, we should not forget these past 4 years because they have been so formative in making us the strong-minded individuals we are today.
On behalf of all the graduates, I wish to thank those who join us here this evening. We are successful because of your continued support, and we know that our accomplishments were made possible through your guidance and encouragement. Now, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may now be seated.
I would now like to introduce Choral Director Dr. Brown, as well as to invite all senior choir members to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you. While the class of 19 choir members come to the stage, I'd like to highlight a few things about this wonderful group of young people. During their time in high school, they have sung together on many concerts. Some of them have traveled internationally with me and sung in countries like Italy, Croatia, and Slovenia. And many of them are involved in many other areas of our school, from not just in fine arts, in dance and theater, and art and music, but in athletics and in clubs. They are leaders in our school, and we are very proud of their accomplishments as they get ready to graduate. I am going to have to ask you to stand one more time as we sing our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tonight, we gather to honor the 501 members of the class of 2019 as they walk across our stage and earn their high school diplomas. At this moment in our ceremony, however, we pause to remember and recognize two members of the class of 2019, Fatima Durrani and Super Jake Widmar, both of whom sadly lost their battles with illnesses and left us all much too early. Though not here in body tonight, Fatima and Jake are certainly here in spirit, and we symbolize their presence with these beautiful white flowers next to our diplomas. We also wish to collectively recognize Fatima's parents, Dr. and Miss Durrani, who were able to join us for this celebration tonight. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember our two honorary graduates, Fatima Durrani and Jake Widmar.
Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it, release your inhibitions. I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it, release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin, no one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in, no one else can speak the words on your lips, drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open, today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition, sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way, oh. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it, release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin, no one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in, no one else can speak the words on your lips, drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open, today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it, release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin, no one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in, no one else can speak the words on your lips, drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open, today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten.
I forgot to tell our graduates that they could be seated, and look how dutiful they are. They stayed standing through the whole thing. This is a great class, isn't it?
Hi, my name is Olivia Govin. I just wanted to say before I begin my graduation speech that I did not tell anyone in my family that I was doing this, so surprise. All right. A few months ago, a close friend of mine received their pilot's license, and she told me the most remarkable thing. A new pilot will fly into cloud cover, and there will be little to no visibility. And the pilot will monitor their instruments, check their gauges, they'll look at the artificial horizon, but they won't trust it. So they'll make adjustments, check their gauges, check their instruments, and make another adjustment, and another, and another. She said the number of new pilots who will fly out of clouds completely upside down would knock you out. We are, as some may say, embarking into the unknown. Every step up to this podium is a flight taking off. We are the commercial airlines, the cargo carriers, the birds flying south for winter and flying home for summer. Whether we like it or not, we take flight into the clear skies, the night skies, the not so nice skies, and yes, even into the cloud cover. And I don't know about you, but I literally don't know how to fly a plane. Yet, what I think is most remarkable, what is most astounding and awe-inspiring, is that we fly anyway. As students of Libertyville High School, we push not only forward, but upward, into the cloud cover and into the unknown. Each day at LHS, I am reminded of the power we hold, not only as students, but as future leaders, not only as dreamers, but as doers. Our flight is momentous. Our flight signifies growth. As I stand here before you, I see the faces of my future scholars, my future innovators, future service people, advocates, public servants, and selfless leaders. I see a class that has and will continue to create beauty out of nothing. I see a generation that will fly beyond the skies. As I grow into my young adulthood, I cannot deny the truth that we are in the most important point in history. I'd argue that any and every point in history is important, but that just only heightens my point on how urgent the here and now is. Our generation has, throughout time, witnessed a country quite literally change the tides of human history, for better and at times for worse. For too long, we've been raised on hypocritical thoughts and prayers, the deepest condolences with the weakest changes. We've watched as our environment is taken away from us, legislation is tabled, and the news reports crises each morning and evening. But we aren't ones to stay down on the airstrip for too long. At Libertyville High School, we don't allow storms to change our course. We don't wait for the permission of the wind to take flight. We're the class that redefined school spirit and successfully reclaimed our Spirit Award of 2019. We're the innovators who have submerged ourselves in the sciences, engineering a future that quite literally unleashes the impossible. We're the face of a revolution, the generation that sees more women leading the world with their lab coats, their spacesuits, their gavels, their presidential seals, and their unhindered belief that we belong in the rooms where decisions are made. We're the students who organized the LHS March for Our Lives in less than a month, stood listening and speaking to one another because we knew the things that connect us are far greater than those that divide us. We're the students who stood together after the deaths of classmates and former students, stood strong in the face of pain and loss, brought loving memories into the classrooms to fill the desks of students that once sat there. We've come out of cloud cover, out of the storms, the bleak skies, flying right side up, upside down, uncertain of where we are going, but ready for the next flight,
and the flight after that, and the next, and the next. We are the students who will break barriers, explore the skies beyond the skies, explore the stars that will soon know our names. We are the students who will dive into the depths of the oceans, the complexities of cancer cells, the startup businesses. We are the creators of our time, the crafters of our future. So, breathe. Make your adjustments, check your gauges, monitor your instruments, trust yourself. We've been here before and we'll make it out again, right side up, even in cloud cover. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Thank you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Andrew Zemeski.
What do? It's fun to stay at the YMCA. I bless the rains down in Africa, and everyone join me on this one. Sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum. All have in common. That's right, they're all memorable song lyrics. Not only do the words to songs help convey ideas, emotions, and thoughts, they also have music to go with them to help deepen their messages. Memories are a lot like songs. Some are written by just one person. Others are written by a partnership, while others are done as a collaboration of a number of people. Regardless, the end result is a song that tells a story, relates a feeling, or celebrates an adventure. All of us have written many songs. They are the moments and collective experiences of our lives and times at LHS. Some of the songs' tempos were slow, like waiting on grading day for Power School to open back up, while some of the songs' tempos were fast, like racing back to the high school from Broad Stop at lunch. Some of the notes may have been off-key, like wearing pajamas on P-Day for the ABC Countdown when it was really prank day. They may have gotten really loud, like the state championship football game at Northern Illinois University, or softer than a whisper at times, like the bus ride back from prom. Some of the lyrics might have been, I wish I could do that over again, or gee, I hope nobody saw that. But nevertheless, they are the fundamentals and diverse compositions that make up our playlist. As we immerse ourselves in this bittersweet moment of graduation and reflect upon the past 4 years, we take out our phones, put in our earbuds, and listen to these songs. We may skip over a few, yet listen to others several times over. The rich tones and harmonies we've come to know and love will be taken with us across the country and even world as we go our own ways. They will be our inspiration to write new songs with new lyrics and new melodies. We will leave here with our wide range of notes. It'll be up to us to determine how they are arranged. So as we set forth to add to our playlists, may our rhythms make people want to dance and our lyrics make people want to sing along, whether it's a number of people, a partnership, or just ourselves. But the one song that we will all have in our playlists forever is the one being composed right here, right now. The melody is sweet, the pace is steady, and some of the lyrics are, the mortarboards reach new heights. It's called Congratulations, Class of 2019. The world is now ours. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tom Calentes, Principal of Libertyville High School.
All right, good evening. Class of 2019, as I look out at all of you, I see so many strengths and skills. I'm generally I'm genuinely impressed and inspired by you. The success of a high school rests largely upon the shoulders of the senior class, and your efforts, your school spirit, your service to our community helped make this a wonderful school year. We could tell good stories about each of you, and I'm truly sorry that we don't have the time to do that tonight. But let's all keep the impressive collective talents of this entire class in mind as we now recognize those with exemplary academic achievement. So, National Honor Society members, please stand. Thank you for your scholarship, your leadership, and your service. You may be seated. Next, we recognize our LHS honor grads. These students have achieved a GPA of 4.0 or better based on their 7th semester grades. All of these students, please stand. Thank you for your outstanding efforts in the classroom and your leadership. You may be seated. Next, we recognize our Link Crew leaders. These students give up the cherished senior lunch in order to help our freshman Wildcats transition to high school. Thank you, Link Crew leaders, for your service to our school. Please stand and be recognized. You may be seated. Speaking of service, we now recognize the 11 seniors who are wearing a red, white, and blue tassel because they have chosen to serve the United States by enlisting in the branches of the military after graduation. I speak for our entire school community when I thank you for choosing this noble path. Please stand when I call your names. Audience, please hold your applause until the end. Our first student, Mark Bakirin, enlistment in the United States Navy. William Conley, enlistment. Hey, Mark, you can stay standing. There we go. William Conley, enlistment in the Wyoming Army National Guard, University of Wyoming. Cardell Dawson, enlistment in the United States Navy. Kurt Feiereisel, enlistment in the United States Marine Corps. Brandon Gardner, enlistment in the United States Marine Corps. Stephanie Gay, United States Army Reserve Officer Training Corps, Texas Christian University. Benjamin Lopez, appointment to the United States Military Academy, West Point. Lillian McGowan, United States Army Reserve Officer Training Corps, Syracuse University. Thomas Pearson, appointment to the United States Naval Academy, Annapolis. Juan Palau, enlistment in the United States Navy. And Bennett Whitney, appointment to the United States Air Force Academy. Congratulations to all of these students. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, now let's ask any of our family members, parents, guardians, and loved ones who are here tonight on active duty, will you please stand and allow our audience to recognize you for your service to our country? Graduation not only marks the end of high school for our seniors, but additionally, it symbolizes a new chapter for our retiring teachers. As a Wildcat community, I ask us to recognize tonight 3 dedicated individuals, each of whom has given more than 30 years of service to the students and families of Libertyville High School. They will be deeply missed. The class of 2019 faculty graduates are Ms. Cheryl Munkin, Physical Education; Mr. Ron Russ, Physical Education and Athletic Trainer; and Miss Amy Holtzford, Social Studies. Class of 2019, I will shortly present you to our Board of Education to receive your diplomas. Before I do, however, I'd like to make a confession. I mean, I've never told anyone this before, but I figure we go way, way back. I mean, we go way back. We go back to the start of your junior year. So that's at least 2 years. So I know I can trust you, and I know you can just keep this between us, okay? But my confession is, whenever something happens to me, I think in sound bites. You know, like lines from television shows or movies. And most of my sound bites come from really bad television or movies from the 80s and 90s. I don't know, can you relate to this? When something good happens to me, the first thing I think about is Rocky Balboa going, "Yo, Adrian, we did it." I mean, when I go somewhere and I feel somebody's ignoring me or I'm getting dissed, the first thing that snaps into my head is that scene from Dirty Dancing when Patrick Swayze's like, "No one puts baby in the corner." This is a problem, right? I can see, you're worried about me here. I mean, I recognize it as a problem. I'm sitting in meetings with parents or with staff members, and somebody says a good idea, and I immediately channel Mr. Burns, and I'm like, "Excellent," right? Something is seriously the matter. I mean, remember the other day it was dunk day, and I was walking down the halls, and a few of you threatened to dunk on me, and I was like, "Go ahead, punk, make my day." A lot of you guys probably don't know that line, but your parents certainly do. But clearly, I mean, stating the obvious, I need professional help. So, as I was thinking about what wisdom to share with you on your graduation day, of course, all I can do is generate these movie and TV quotes in my head. So, for example, I thought about how you might be feeling right now, and the first thing that came to me was that scene from Titanic when Leo's standing on the deck of the ship and yells, "I'm the king of the world!" And I hope that's what you're thinking and what you're feeling right now, because that's what you are. What you've accomplished over these past 4 years has truly been remarkable. You've been scholars who have learned to think and reason and debate and argue. They definitely know how to argue. You have pushed our AP participation to record numbers. You've scored off the charts on national exams. You've developed a daring mindset, and you led our school to being recognized this year as a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. In addition to this, you've excelled in the athletic and artistic arenas, but most importantly, you've demonstrated that you are a group of students who genuinely cares about others, and you commit yourself to causes greater than yourselves. And you've stood steadfast in the commitment that hate will have no home at LHS. It's definitely. So it's now time for you to step into a new challenge and to set out on your own. And whether you're going to college, to trade school, to the military, the career world, or simply taking a gap year, I hope you can take me with you. The time has come for you to cast off that shell of adolescence and step out into the world as an adult. And I once read a rabbi describe this time in life as the leaving of much of everything you know behind and stepping out into the great unknown. You leave behind expectations, the comfortable regularity, the familiar faces and places. You move forward, no longer expecting relationships, memories, words, or letters to mean what they used to mean. After tonight, you are, in a word, transformed. And what I believe the rabbi is speaking about is this tremendous opportunity that each of you have to be open to leaving much of what you were behind and to embrace all that you're destined to become. And I mean, think about this, because I get it. Sometimes it's really tough in high school because you have changed so much, but people still see you as you were in kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, freshman year. And these narrow perceptions of you can kind of be constraining, right? It can really be suffocating sometimes because you grow and you change so much during high school, yet other people kind of hold you to what you were. But after tonight, all of you have a chance, a true chance to rediscover yourself, to redefine and reassert your identity, and to restart your trajectory. These chances do not come to us often in our lives. If I showed up with a new identity on Monday, people are going to think I'm having a midlife crisis, okay? You guys have that opportunity right now. Take advantage of it. Embrace and bring forth your authentic self. That's the person the world has been waiting for. And though this is definitely a challenge, and I got to tell you, whenever I face like a massive challenge, I think of that scene from the movie Jaws. You know, if you've seen the movie, it's where Sheriff Brody, he sees Jaws for the first time and he like steps back and he's all freaked out and he says, we're gonna need a bigger boat, right? So I'm looking tonight and I see that same look on many of your faces. You have that same feeling of awe and excitement, but fear, just like the sheriff did when he saw the monster he would ultimately have to fight. And in life, unfortunately, each of us faces monsters we need to fight. And I imagine many of you feel ill-equipped or underprepared and are in desperate search to find a much bigger boat to help you navigate life's turbulent seas. But here's the thing, guys. You've got this. You've totally got this. Seriously, you're ready. I mean, just think about what you've dealt with for the past 4 years. You've had to come to school every single day, going to 7, 8 challenging classes with only 5-minute breaks in between. You've had to work with 7 or 8 teachers, all of whom had different rules, different expectations, and different methods that you had to learn and follow. You did this while being in a social environment composed of 2,000 kids, all of whom were developing their brains, their skills, and their maturity at rates different than yours. And when you were done with that, you went to competitions or you went to work. You pushed your body to its athletic and artistic limits, and you spent hours earning money for yourself or your family. And then when you finally got home at night, you faced 2, 3, 4 hours of homework and an endless stream of Snapchats, only to get up early the next morning and do it again and again and again. And I gotta tell you, this regiment would have caused the strongest of the adults in this arena tonight to crumble. Yet you not only did this, you did it while demonstrating joy and kindness and friendliness and compassion for others. And never forget that you did that. At one of your most fragile, insecure times of your life, when your brain and body were growing at nearly the same rate as a newborn baby, you successfully navigated one of the most rigorous high schools in the United States. You successfully navigated one of the most complex social environments, some would call it a jungle, that you're ever gonna face. You are truly beautiful and amazing. And I assure you that we adults are in awe. So my last soundbite comes from one of the truly great minds of our time. Dunder Mifflin Paper Company assistant to the assistant regional manager, Dwight Schrute. You probably know this advice. He said, listen, before you do anything, ask yourself, would an idiot do this? If the answer is yes, do not do that thing. Okay, but I'm telling you, do the opposite of what Dwight says. Don't study idiots, study greatness. Find a mentor, someone who's older and wiser and more experienced, someone who's living life in the way you wish to live it, someone who's battled the monsters that you know you need to fight. Find that person, study that person, talk with that person, learn how they think, Learn why that person does what they do. Then do those things. Start thinking that way. It's going to be difficult and uncomfortable at first. All great transformations are. But the more you practice living life like your mentor, the more that life will begin to feel normal and natural to you. That's how you change. That's how you grow. That's how you become great. So class of 2019, you have successfully fulfilled all the requirements to graduate high school. You have marked your time at LHS with honor, distinction, and fidelity. As the 101st graduating class, you've demonstrated your commitment and ability to carry forth our school's legacy of excellence, and you've proudly claimed the right to be called true Wildcats. Before I conclude, however, I've got one more soundbite for you. And this one I think you all know, and for me to do it right, I've got to call up Mr. Woods, our athletic director, to help me deliver these final words to you. So class of 2019, please stand up and welcome Mr. Woods. I think you all know what to do. Mr. Woods, take it away.
All right, seniors, one last time on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Go Wildcats!
Mr. Kelly and Dr. Grudy, before you are true Wildcats in academics, in sports and arts, as well as in service and spirit. It is with great pleasure I present to you Libertyville's graduation class of 2019. Class, you may be seated. Please welcome our District 128 Associate Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Bryant Kelly.
Thank you. Good evening. I am honored to be the Associate Superintendent of Community High School District 128. On behalf of the entire District 128 family, I want to express my sincere congratulations to all Libertyville High School students of this outstanding class of 2019. Commencement is a very special time of year at District 128 because it is the culmination and recognition of student commitment, dedication, and achievement in meeting our rigorous academic requirements. Commencement is also a time to reflect back upon your many individual and team achievements and accomplishments in the fine arts, athletics, activities, and community service during your 4 years here at LHS. I have had the great pleasure and honor to observe you learn, grow, and add to this storied legacy of excellence at Libertyville High School this past year. In class of 2019, quite simply, I am in awe of you. You have made a difference at LHS in the communities that we serve and also at the state, national, and worldwide levels. It is indeed a pleasure to be part of your commencement ceremony this evening. LHS graduates, you are surrounded tonight by many people that have helped you along the way. And has been a tradition at LHS graduation, I would like you to take a moment to join me in celebrating the very special family members and friends who are in attendance this evening. First of all, will all the parents and guardians of the graduates please stand and remain standing. Next, will all the grandparents of our graduates please stand. And now, will our entire faculty and staff please stand. And finally, will all of the relatives, friends, neighbors, and community members please stand. LHS graduates, let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you. You may all be seated. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the members of the District 128 Board of Education in attendance this evening that will participate in the distribution of diplomas. Board members, please stand as I call your name. Pat Grudy, President. Don Carmichael. Kevin Huber. and Casey Rooney. I would like to also recognize our senior students, Zachary Elgati and Matthew Wang, who served as the LHS Student School Board representatives. They served our students and the Board of Education with distinction. Zachary and Matthew, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our board president, Dr. Pat Grudy, who will address the class of 2019. Pat?
Dr. Clinties, on behalf of the Board of Education, I accept this Libertyville High School class of 2019. Mr. Kelly, Dr. Clinties, fellow members of the Board of Education, teachers and staff, parents, families, and friends, tonight we have the great privilege of recognizing these remarkable graduates. They've made us proud because of their amazing accomplishments, and more importantly, they've made us even prouder because of the outstanding young men and women they've become. Over the past 4 years, they've done remarkable things in the classroom, and they've accomplished significant achievements in many state and national academic, athletic, and fine arts competitions. And words like driven and motivated and caring and dedicated and committed to excellence are only a few of the words I can think of to describe them. And these days, when so much of what we read in the newspaper and see in the media focuses on what's wrong or negative in our society, I'm inspired by this group before us because of their countless efforts to do what is good and what is right in the world today. And students, tonight is about you. Tonight is the time for you to reflect on the last 4 years and to celebrate everything you've accomplished. It's time to think about all the amazing experience you've had here with friends and teachers and coaches and everyone at Libertyville High School that makes this such a special place. And I hope you leave here tonight remembering someone who made this place special for you. And then I hope someday you become that special person in someone else's life. Tonight's celebration is just a brief moment in time, and tomorrow will come quickly. Tomorrow it will be time to turn the page and begin the process of writing the next chapter in your incredible journey. The next chapter will undoubtedly be a time filled with many challenges, a time filled with uncertainty, and a time with many new and unfamiliar experiences. But I promise you, this too will be an exciting time, a time that promises to be even more exciting and more rewarding than all that you've experienced in the past. You leave here at a time when no matter where you look, cultural change, political change, environmental change, and technological change is all occurring faster than ever before. The path ahead will not be an easy one, but I can assure you, you are well prepared. You're among the most accomplished, the most culturally diverse, and the most capable class ever to leave Libertyville High School. Your potential for solving the critical issues before us is limitless, as long as you continue to find your innermost strengths and you have the courage to use them to pursue the dreams that you are most passionate about. You leave here with a solid foundation from which to grow. You've built the skills and knowledge and confidence that you need to succeed. And even more importantly, you've demonstrated your willingness to set your sights on a purpose larger than yourself, as demonstrated by all you've done to make your school, your community, and our world better because you're here. You've added much to the legacy that is Libertyville High School, and your contributions have left a lasting example that others will want to follow. And I hope you're as proud of yourself as we are of you. So tonight, as you begin this next chapter, I challenge you to be daring in everything you do. Dare yourself to stretch even further than you ever have before, no matter how uncomfortable or intimidating that may be. Dare yourself to seize new opportunities, even at times when they feel overwhelming. Dare yourself to learn more about the things you are truly passionate about, and then dare yourself to take that passion and achieve something meaningful, something impactful, something that will have a lasting significance. Dare yourself to create a world that's better than the one you inherited. Dare yourself to think differently. Dare yourself to embrace different perspectives and different points of view. And dare yourself to go to places you've never been to so you can continue to learn more about the richness of people and cultures different than your own. Dare yourself to find better ways to work with people who are different than you are so you can be part of bigger and bolder and better ideas than you can come up with on your own. Dare yourself to not be satisfied with the status quo. Dare yourself to always work to make things better, even when things seem good enough. Dare yourself to be the one who builds bridges, the one who leads others through change, and the one who inspires greatness, even when others look to create barriers to meaningful change and progress. Dare yourself to be the example that others want to follow. And dare yourself to have the courage to do the right things right, to be the one with unshakable honor and integrity, even when there are choices that may be more popular, more comfortable, and less difficult. Class of 2019, now is your chance to make the District 128 motto of daring something real, something tangible, and something significant in your lives as you build a career and life that has impact. As you leave here, be doers and dreamers. Be aware of all that you have to offer. Be resilient and have the courage to persevere in the face of challenge and discord. Be inquisitive and never lose your thirst for knowledge of the past and hope for the future. Be nimble and adapt to those things that are beyond your control. And be global and capitalize on the strength that diversity in ideas, diversity in opinions, and diversity in talents and backgrounds offers in your efforts to make the world a better place. American poet Maya Angelou once said, "My passion in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive and to do so with passion, some compassion, some humor and style." And she also said, "Success is living life and daring to live it." And so, class of 2019, I hope you leave here loving life. Now dare yourself to fully live it with passion, compassion, humor, and style. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Grudy. Class of 19, we will now begin to present diplomas. Let our class marshals come forward, Jacob Kemp and Allison McLean. And let our first two rows rise and begin the distribution of diplomas.
As a reminder to our audience, as each name is singularly important and worthy of being heard, please refrain from applause until we have read each and every name. Also, please remember not to approach the stage to take pictures. We have provided grad images who will be taking professional quality pictures of all the graduates. Layan A. Abdo.
Sawyer James Abington.
Spencer Ryan A.G.
Enrique Aguirre.
Grace Mackenzie Albright.
Keith Richard Allen.
Elias John Anderson.
Matthew Olin Apgar.
Prachi Elda Aarons.
Kathleen Asejo.
Teresa Bell Amuller.
Clarice Sarah Austin.
Lila Mary Babbitt.
Brianna Ku Baez.
Olivia Catherine Baldwin.
Mark Adrian Pahudpud Bakiran.
Nathan Robert Barca.
Trevor James Barca.
Benjamin Buidong Barnaby.
Eleanor Ross Barnett.
Andreas Barrera.
Luke Nicholas Borelli.
Harley Nadine Baskin.
Matthew Sullivan Bechtold.
Matthew Thomas Beckman.
Nicholas Michael Bellamini.
Anya Alexandrovna Belomoyina.
Rachel Ann Benner.
Ryan Charles Berger.
Annika Nicole Bjorkland.
Alexander Thomas Black.
Audrey Rose Black.
Tanner Trent Blacker.
Chloe Elizabeth Black.
Grace Ann Bloom.
Colin Andrew Bow.
Jackson Daniel Bogus.
Grace Helena Boileau.
James Thomas Bolas.
Foster Dimitri Boom.
Nicholas Aristomenes Bougitopoulos.
Brendan Charles Bolby.
Aiden Thomas Brown.
Brandon Michael Brown.
Natalie Elsa Brown.
Sabine Ann Brunko.
Samuel Eldon Bryant.
Lindsay Marie Burke.
Lucas James Burkhart.
Margaret Christy Bernetti.
Brianna Marie Burns.
Tony Catherine Butler.
Brian Michael Bystall.
Cody John Cannon.
Megan Mary Carney.
Alexander Christopher Coronis.
Emma Grace Chandler.
James Carlisle Clavey.
Elizabeth Catherine Chapin.
Ethan James Chen.
Olivia Rose Cherry.
Neil Singh Chikara.
Daniel Joseph Shimura.
Nicholas David Christensen.
Matthew James Keena.
Abigail Rose Sema.
Peter John Cimbalo.
Travis Robert Clark.
Maria Patricia Clymer.
Michelle Hirschfeld Collier.
Nicholas Robert Camella.
William Brent Conley.
Kathleen Eleanor Connell.
Tate Caleb Constable.
Caitlin Rose Cook.
Clara May Corkins.
Michaela Esther Corrigan.
Cora Renee Kostakis.
Jillian Lynn Cody.
Kinser Gregory Crevetti. Ryan Michael Dementi.
Jacob Michael Democulus.
Peter William Dankelson.
Reese Courtney Dannenfeld.
James Edward John Davies.
Reese Marie Davis.
Cardell Henry Dawson. Catherine Olivia Diacides.
Greta Rose Dean.
Alexis Renee DeLongchamp.
Reed Joseph Delude.
Julia Stefana Denoya.
Emily Ann Detlaff.
Elise Isabella Doctor.
Sydney Renee Donovan.
Carter Andrew Doro.
Catherine Lucille Drummond.
Brendan Michael Duffy.
Jake Emmett Duffy.
Stefan Predrag Duport.
Casper Dural.
Joseph Michael Eads.
Thomas Alexander Edgar.
Zachary Ahmed Elgatit.
Matthew Monroe Engfer.
Ivan Alberto Espinoza.
Margaret Sally Evers.
Sadie Rahimzadeh Iyer.
Maximin Aaron Faber.
Merrick Allen Hayduke Thackert.
Crichton James Farrell.
Brandon Michael Fisher.
Matthew Joseph Feeney.
Kurt Reff Fireisel.
Kate Brennan Felsel.
Thomas Chan Fenlon.
Daniel Feroz.
Taylor Lynn Philissette.
Christopher Kennedy Fisher.
Sophia Isabella Flanagan.
Sophia Dorothy Fisher. Ryan Charles Fisher. Charles Leslie Foltz.
Sophia Isabella Flanagan. Emily Rose Ford.
Jennifer Lynn Formica.
Julia Rose Forrest.
John Robert Freeberg.
Hayden Richard Freese.
Zachary Charles Foreman.
Justine Judith Gasick.
Lauren Marie Gaydek.
Matthew Donald Gaines.
Alyssa Renee Gallo.
Anne Therese Gallup.
Brandon Gary Gardner.
Olivia Marie Govan.
Stephanie Ann Gay.
Bailey Chance Geidner.
Anna Elizabeth Jardina.
Mitchell Dennis Gifford.
Cameron Giles.
Catherine Nicole Gillespie.
Kayleen Flora Gillespie.
Grace Brandis Gold.
Peyton Grace Golwas.
Alec Charles Goodman.
Molly Elise Grayton.
James David Grayson.
Albert He Guan.
Nicholas Anthony Guarino.
Thomas David Georges Guiar.
Michael Christopher Gunther.
Aaliyah J. Haddon.
Emma Catherine Halpin.
Carolyn Grace Hardy.
Joshua David Hardy.
Brendan D. Herring.
Rachel Elizabeth Harrison.
Quentin James Hart.
Hannah Lauren Hartshorn.
Madison Taylor Hartwig.
Ahmed Hassan.
Zoya Tamkanet Hassan.
Catherine Grace Hay.
George Joseph Hayek.
Connor James Hayes.
Molly Ann Hazen.
Catherine Elizabeth Heblin.
Dylan James Heimert.
Taylor DePing Heimert.
Adriana Elizabeth Halstad.
Alexander John Paul Herring.
Grant Peyton Herbeck. Cassidy Rose Heyer.
Eloise Nicole Hides.
Kelly Ann Higgison.
Noah Michael Highsmith.
Evan Theodore Hill.
Laura Arlene Hines.
Hannah Nicole Hiscox.
Suzanne Lillian Hogan.
Emma Elizabeth Hollinger.
Matthew James Holmes.
Brian Hong.
Chinyu Hong.
Ian Edward Hooper.
Reed Robert Husek.
Alex Joyce Hauser.
Matthew Huang.
Anthony Ryan Hughes.
Sergio Enrique Hurtado.
Trinity Alexander Hudson.
Jack Henry Iannuzzi.
Eleanor Elizabeth M.
Jacob James Ivers.
Parker Wyatt Jackham.
Madeline Mackenzie Jacobs.
Zoya Jafferby.
Helena Janzik.
Caroline May Jeffrey.
Alex Wang Ji.
Benjamin Mark Johnson.
Bianca Tanya Johnson. Olivia Ray Johnson.
Alexander Chung Hae Jonas.
Caitlin Morgan Jostin.
Rebecca Brienne Joswiak.
Kyle Eric Junkins.
George Dean Kakos.
Peter John Kafkas.
Mackenzie Amber Callison.
Benjamin Arthur Wales Canchez.
Kevin John Kaya.
Shane Michael Kearns.
Megan Marie Keating.
Timothy James Keating.
Tierney Ann Keegan.
Taha Wahid Khan.
Jonah Evan Kincaid.
Catherine Elizabeth Kotson.
Sydney Grace Klatt.
Alyssa Faith Klein.
Andrew James Klein.
Grace Margaret Knutson.
Ryan Joseph Kolicheski.
Henry Christian Coulterman.
Mark Thomas Korn.
Gabriel Kosich.
Kyle Viken Krakowski.
Kylie Nicole Kraus.
Allison Jean Krosick.
Karina Rose Kukler.
Alexandria Bree Kuhlman.
Tyler Nicholas Kukla. Kelsey Elizabeth Kurz.
Celissa Nicole Lamb.
Connor Brett Landmeyer.
Holly Nicole Estelle Laprade.
Eric Joseph Leroy.
Annika Grace Larson.
Bailey Elizabeth Latka.
Jonathan Gregory Lauber.
Van Thomas Lachlan.
Jacob Richard Lawrence.
David Youngman Lee.
Erin Elizabeth Lease.
Sarah Nicole Lease.
Anna Rose Legutke.
Jason Christopher Lenz.
Victoria Lex.
Ann Lee.
Jonathan Lee Chen.
Alice Marie Lillydahl.
Matthew Ronald Listman.
Hengying Liu.
Emily Renee Luitzo.
Tiana Kim Lohr.
Connor Benjamin Lortz.
Francesca Aletta Losh.
Adam Christopher Luberich.
Milica Lukic.
Quinn David Lutz.
Daniel James McHale.
Paula Magnazuski.
Ali Mohammed Mahmood.
Mitchie Christine Main.
Joseph Albert Mahler.
Radu Andre Manea.
Lancy Marcos.
Xochi Marcos.
Luke Richard Murkison.
Sydney Grace Marsden.
Ashley Nicole Noel Marshall.
Nathaniel John Massa.
Giselle Annalie Matus.
Kathleen Ann Maurer.
Benjamin Michael Mayo.
Marissa Leanne Mazzetta.
Aaron Kaufman McCain.
Jasmine Janelle McClendon.
Jack Michael McDonald.
Lillian Alice McGowan.
John Matthew McLaughlin.
Jessica Ann McLennan.
Jessica Mera.
Jose Modesto Mendoza Silveira.
Celia Viola Mandrala.
Bryn Noel Miller.
Kate Jean Miller.
Kenneth Cooper Miller.
Robert Thomas Wilbert Mills.
Emma Mary Malowski.
Matthew Joseph Mills.
Annika Mizra.
Teague Henry Mitchell.
Albara Dia Mohammed.
Brenda Montoya.
Benjamin Cole Moody.
Vanya Mora.
Mariam Ann Morgan.
John Gordon Morris.
Daniel John Morrissey.
Marissa Ann Moscone.
Mohammed Nail Mostafa.
Emma Jane Mueller.
Jack Masami Maroka.
Brandon Michael Murphy.
Mary Ann Murphy.
Megan Catherine Murphy.
Spencer Camille Nassar.
Rebecca Alice Neal.
Ethan William Neer.
Jorge Antonio Nira.
Connor John Nekich.
Connor Scott Nelson.
Matthew Joseph Newberger.
Haley Olivia Knoll.
Anna Maria Norina.
Adam William Nostrand.
Michael Scott O'Brien.
Declan Matthew Olson.
Lee Kevin O'Reilly.
Geneva Marie Ori.
Nicholas John Otto.
Ryan Timothy Padilla.
Amanda Caroline Page.
Abigail Amelia Paglia.
Ava Catherine Pacosta.
Jonathan Michael Palmieri.
Guillermo Alexander Pardinas.
Victoria Juliet Parker.
Scott William Patterson.
Thomas Edmund Pearson.
Juan Luis Paleo Jr.
Oscar Jose Pina.
Christine Marie Peritano.
Amanda Lynn Peter.
Tucker James Peterson.
Luke Samuel Peterson.
Ashley May Pignon.
Bryce Joseph Pincel.
Samantha Ray Ann Pletz.
Kenna Joe Porcelius.
Nolan Herrick Porter.
Thomas Joseph Power.
Adam Syhagis.
Dominic James Quigley.
Francis Marie Ramirez.
Zoe Jane Randolph.
Evan Mitchell Rasmussen.
Brendan Anthony Ratton.
Jeffrey Gordon Rebman.
Tara Jasmine Rakana.
Brianna Elizabeth Reed.
Eloisa Furbino Rego.
Amanda Elizabeth Reinhart.
Gregory Anthony Renix Jr.
Nathaniel R. Rizal.
Matthew Keith Richardson.
Daniel Thomas Ritz.
Ethan Samuel Robbins.
Jared Thomas Robbins.
Luke Joseph Roberts.
Sergio Alexander Rocha.
Peter James Roche.
Michael Alexander Rodriguez.
Isaac Amo Rodriguez.
Nicholas James Rogers.
Sophia Marie Rollins.
Colin Daniel Roston.
Hannah Beth Rubenstein.
McKenna Christine Rudolphi.
Richard Jason Resch.
Anna Grace Ryan.
Donald Ryan.
Noah Robert Sachs.
Julia Paige Sahagian.
Jocelyn Elise Salinas.
Peyton Joseph Sarton.
Emma Louise Saucedo.
Maxwell Lane Sowers.
Margot Sophia Scally.
Catherine Marie Scheck.
Anna Catherine Schellen.
Aaron Gail Schuneman.
Parker Schluning.
Charlie Oscar Schmidt.
Samuel Frank Schneider.
Anna Betty Scholler.
Daniel Keith Schrodel.
Hannah Elizabeth Schuler.
Ethan Thomas Schultz.
Brandon Michael Schumann.
Peyton Sexton Schweiger.
Madison Elizabeth Seal.
Jaron Heath Say.
Mariel Catherine Sebi.
Bruce Edward Center.
David Joseph Surekia.
Neva Sethi.
Ellie Catherine Sile.
Kelly Ann Shinnick.
Logan Robert Sides.
Russell Jeffrey Scarbeck.
Kylie Michelle Ski.
Lillian Page Slater.
Carter Dean Smith.
Ian Lewis Smith.
Matthew Ronald Smith.
Cecilia Ray Snyder.
Emma Elise Soderstrom.
Alyssa Joy Sorensen.
Madeline Grace Spalding.
Caitlin Abigail Spear.
Charles Maximilian Stanky.
Sebastian Daniel Stankowitz.
Edward Roland Steenkolk.
Joshua Dorsey Steinhaus.
Charlotte Elizabeth Stevenson.
Savannah Therese Stevens.
Tess Elizabeth Styler.
Kevin Joseph Shagrew.
William Chandler Sun.
Madeline Bonnie Tankle.
Davion LaRue Thompson.
Hannah Lauren Thoreau.
Alexa Jessie Tierney.
Jonathan Wilson Tim.
Kirsten Lydia Townander.
Lynn Ann Tran.
Tyler Nestor Trucco.
Stephen Michael Tubeck.
Haley Sue Van Meter.
Jackson Jeffrey Van Dixhorn.
Gabriel Takira Vazamim.
Nicole Alessandra Velasquez.
Nicholas Henry Villiard.
Angad Singh Virk.
Lucas Alexander Vla.
Maxwell Lee Von Holten.
Annalisa Sophia Waddick.
Carly Amanda Wagner.
Matthew Thomas Wagner.
Scott Matthew Wagner.
Saad Muhammad Wahid.
Catherine Grace Waldvogel.
Anina Emma Katerina Walquist.
Angela Nicole Wegerson.
Alexander Raymond Wyke.
Andrea Namine Wells.
Wesley Joseph Worden.
Garner Elizabeth Wernz.
Bennett Alexander Whitney.
Mason McCullum Williams.
Chloe Nicole Wilson.
Brian Christopher Wilterdink.
Savannah Claire Winecki.
Anna Elizabeth Wolski.
Joan Hines Wood.
Maxwell Andrus Wood.
Yifan Ji.
Anna Danielle Yaknin.
Gregory Yonan.
Nicole Marie Zakara.
Anna Kaya Zabroya.
Andrew Lloyd Zemeski.
Christine Zhang.
Lisa Jingyan Zhao.
Julia Rose Zankowicz.
Catherine Mary Patricia Zarek.
Garrison Ryan Bennett.
Kevin Charles Aquadro. Derek Thomas Calamari.
Peyton Michael Jennings.
Tanner Anthony Kelly.
Andrew Michael Kim.
Brendan Robert King.
Ryan Douglas Klanos.
Charles Richard Land.
Benjamin Thomas Lopez.
Justin Aaron Miller.
David James Robertson.
Jack Henry Enrico Turco.
Allison Sarah Becker.
Allison Ann McLean.
And last but not least, Jacob Thomas Tessier Kemp.
You got this. I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, sit down. 1, 2, 3. Members of the class of 2019, please stand. Graduates, at this time, please move your tassel from right to left.
Graduates of the class of 2019, congratulations. You are officially graduated. Thank you to all our parents, guardians, family members, and loved ones for coming out this evening. We will now begin our recessional.